Have you ever just paused, looked down at your legs, and thought to yourself, why do they feel like this? Heavy. Achy. Tired. Maybe it's that dull, dragging pain that shows up at the end of the day, or the tight, uncomfortable swelling around your ankles. Maybe it's the dry, flaky skin you try to ignore, because you've told yourself, it's just age. Nothing to worry about. Or maybe, just maybe, you've watched someone you love, someone older, shuffle across the living room, rubbing their knees, wincing slightly, but saying nothing. You offer to help, but they wave it off. I'm fine, they say. But you see it. They're not fine. Their legs don't feel the way they used to. And deep down, maybe neither do yours. Now here's the part no one talks about. You've probably tried everything, haven't you? Compression socks, elevating your feet, slathering on lotion after lotion. And still, those legs feel stiff. The skin looks dull. And every step feels just a little more difficult than the one before. But what if the answer isn't in another pill, or another doctor's visit? What if it's already in your home? Sitting quietly on a shelf in your kitchen, or tucked away in a drawer you haven't opened in months. I'm talking about a natural oil, yes, just an oil, that you rub gently onto your legs. Once a day. That's it. And within 7 days, you feel it, the swelling? Reduced. The aches? Calmed. The skin? Smooth, alive, even glowing. And the biggest surprise of all? You start to move easier. You start to feel good again. In this video, we're going to uncover exactly what that oil is. Why it works so well on aging legs. How it helps reduce inflammation, improve blood flow, ease joint pain, and bring back softness to skin that's felt forgotten. And the best part? You don't need anything fancy, expensive, or hard to find. So please, don't scroll past this. This isn't just about legs. It's about restoring comfort, confidence, and control. For you. Or for someone you love. Now before we dive in, let me ask you something. Have you or someone close to you struggled with leg pain, swelling, or dryness lately? Maybe a parent? A spouse? Or even yourself? If so, drop a speech balloon yes in the comments, because you're not alone. And what we're about to share may just change everything. And hey, if you care about your health or the comfort of your loved ones, take a second to hit that subscribe button right here on Seniorscare. We talk about real issues that matter as we age, and we're just getting started. Let's get into it. Let's start with something that affects far more people than you might think. Swelling. Now I want you to picture this. Mary is 72. Every evening, she'd take off her shoes and notice how tight her socks had become. Deep grooves left in her ankles. The skin stretched, warm to the touch, and her feet. They felt like balloons ready to burst. Getting into bed wasn't rest, it was relief from weight she carried all day long. But she didn't complain. She just assumed. This is how it goes when you get older. But what Mary didn't know, what so many people still don't, is that swelling isn't just a normal part of aging. It's a red flag. A quiet cry from your body that something's not flowing the way it should. You see, as we age, our circulation slows down. The blood doesn't pump as efficiently from the feet back up to the heart. And the lymphatic system, the one responsible for draining waste and excess fluid, starts to lag behind. Now, combine that with sitting for long periods, reduced mobility, or even certain medications. And fluid starts pooling in the legs like rainwater in a blocked gutter. And here's where it gets dangerous. That buildup can lead to something called chronic edema, or in more serious cases, venous insufficiency. Left unchecked, it can cause skin breakdown, pain, and in some cases, permanent damage. But here's the good news, relief might be as close as your kitchen cabinet. Castor oil. Mustard oil. Even ginger-infused oil. These aren't just folk remedies, They've been studied for their ability to stimulate circulation, reduce inflammation, and promote drainage of excess fluid. When massaged into the legs, especially in upward strokes toward the heart, they act like gentle guides, encouraging your body to release what it's been holding onto. Not just fluid, but tension, pain, and that constant, heavy discomfort. Mary began using warm mustard oil every night after her shower. Just a few minutes of slow, upward massage, no rush, no pressure. By day 4, the puffiness had started to fade. By day 7, her shoes fit again. She could walk longer, stand taller, and most importantly, she felt like her body was working with her, not against her. And no, this isn't about replacing your doctor or ignoring medical advice. It's about adding something simple and nurturing into your daily routine. Something that helps you feel better, faster, right at home. Because when your legs feel lighter, you feel freer. But here's the thing, swelling may be what you see on the outside, but what about what you feel inside, that deep, throbbing ache in your knees? The burning in your calves? That sensation that something isn't right, but you can't quite explain it? Let's talk about that next. Because discomfort isn't always loud. But it always means something. Let's move deeper, into something even more personal. Pain. Not just any pain, though. That dull, nagging ache that settles into your knees. The stiffness that greets you every morning. That strange, sore feeling in your calves or thighs when you've barely done anything at all. Now let me introduce you to John. John's 68. Active most of his life. Worked with his hands, stood for long hours, always on the move. But over the past few years, something changed. His knees began to stiffen. Climbing stairs? A challenge. Sleeping through the night? Rare. The pain crept in slowly, then stayed like an unwelcome guest. At first, he did what most people do, he reached for painkillers. Over-the-counter stuff. Then prescriptions. Day after day. But the relief was short-lived, and the side effects? Well, they came knocking too. Then someone told John about a simple oil massage. He was skeptical. How could rubbing oil on my legs help with pain inside my joints? But he was tired of pain, tired of pills, tired of feeling like his body was betraying him. So, one evening, he warmed a bit of eucalyptus oil. Just a few drops. He rubbed it into his knees, gently, in slow, circular motions. There was a tingling, then warmth. And then, something unexpected, relief. Not just for the body, but for the mind. A kind of peace he hadn't felt in months. You see, oils like eucalyptus, peppermint, and arnica aren't just soothing because they smell nice. They're packed with natural anti-inflammatory agents, the kind that go beyond the surface. These oils penetrate the skin barrier, reach the sore tissues beneath, and begin to reduce swelling, calm nerve endings, and relax tight muscles. Now, here's the part that surprises most people. We've been conditioned to believe that only pills can fix pain. That unless it comes from a bottle and goes down your throat, it's not real medicine. But that's just not true. Topical oils offer something those pills can't, targeted relief. Right where it hurts. And without the long list of side effects. When you apply oil to aching joints, especially when it's warm, you're not just soothing pain. You're increasing blood flow. You're relaxing the surrounding muscles. You're giving that area a moment to breathe. And if you take it a step further, wrap your knees or calves with a soft compression cloth after the massage, you're sealing in the warmth. Giving the oils time to sink in deeper. And amplifying the healing effect. John's routine became sacred. Every night before bed, warm oil. Circular massage. Gentle wrap. Sleep came easier. Mornings started with less groaning, more movement. And it wasn't just the pain that improved. It was his mood, his energy, his confidence. Because when you're not constantly fighting pain, you're free to enjoy life again. Now, imagine that same oil doing more than easing pain. Imagine it transforming the very surface of your skin, bringing back softness, moisture, and that healthy glow you thought was long gone. Let's talk about that next. Because aching joints aren't the only thing these legs carry, they also carry years of wear. And your skin deserves care too. Let's shift for a moment. Not to pain or swelling, but something a little more silent. A little more invisible to others, yet something that can deeply affect how you feel about yourself. Your skin. Now, I want you to meet Gloria. Gloria is 74. Lively spirit, always loved a good garden walk, and for years, she wore summer skirts with pride. But over time, her legs began to change. Not just the way they moved, but the way they looked. The skin grew dull, flaky, thin in some places, and dry like parchment in others. She started hiding them, beneath long pants, long skirts, even in the heat of July. Not because anyone said anything, but because she didn't feel beautiful anymore. She called it losing her glow. But here's what Gloria, and so many others, didn't know: it wasn't just dry skin. It was aging skin crying out for nourishment. As we age, our skin changes. It loses its natural lipid barrier, the fatty layer that locks in moisture and protects us from the outside world. Collagen levels drop. Elasticity fades. And suddenly, the lotions that once worked, they just sit on the surface, doing nothing. Worse, many commercial lotions contain alcohols and synthetic fillers that actually strip moisture from the skin. So the more you use them, the drier your skin becomes. It's a cruel cycle. And it's incredibly common. But nature has a way of giving back what time slowly takes away. Coconut oil, almond oil, rosehip oil. These aren't just pleasant-smelling oils, they're deeply nourishing. Packed with fatty acids, antioxidants, and vitamins that feed the skin from the outside in. They don't just coat your skin. They penetrate. They rebuild, rehydrate, restore. Gloria decided to give it a try. After her nightly shower, while her skin was still slightly damp, she massaged a few drops of almond oil into her legs. No rush. Just soft, slow strokes. The oil absorbed easily. There was no greasy mess, no stickiness. Just warmth. And softness. By day 3, the flakiness was gone. By day 7? She looked down and smiled. And yes, she wore a skirt that day. She called it her leg glow up. Now, this may sound simple, because it is. But that's the beauty of it. You don't need $100 cream. You don't need a complicated regimen. You just need to know what your skin needs, and give it gently. So if your legs feel dry, dull, or rough, don't just lather on lotion and hope for the best. Use oil. Use it with care. And use it consistently. Right after your bath or shower, while your skin is still a little damp, apply it in loving, upward strokes. Let it soak in. Let your skin drink it up. Because dry skin isn't just a cosmetic issue. It can crack. It can itch. It can bleed. But most of all, it can chip away at your confidence. And your confidence matters. Now, here's where it gets even more powerful. Because the oil isn't just helping what you can see on the outside. It's also working on what you can't see, deep within your legs, where blood flow tells the story of energy, healing, and life. Let's talk about that next. Because cold, numb, restless legs aren't just frustrating, they're trying to tell you something. And yes, oil can help with that too. Now let's talk about something many people shrug off, but it affects millions, quietly, uncomfortably, and often without warning. Cold legs. Numb toes. That strange purple or bluish tint in your skin. And here's the thing, you can live with it for so long that it starts to feel normal. Until one day, it's not just cold anymore, it's concerning. I want to tell you about James. James is 76. Former electrician. Proud grandfather. Still sharp, still full of stories. But if you visited him at home, you'd always find him in thick socks, even in the middle of July. Not for comfort, but because his legs always felt cold. Not just chilly, but ice cold. Numb in places, tingly in others. And he'd laugh it off, saying, "That's just what happens when you get older, right?" But behind the jokes was a quiet frustration. Because the truth is, he could feel something was wrong. His legs didn't just feel cold, they felt disconnected. Like they weren't getting enough life. And in a way, they weren't. You see, as we age, our circulation slows. The vessels that once pumped warm, oxygen-rich blood to every corner of our body, they begin to narrow. They lose their elasticity. Especially in the extremities, the feet, ankles, calves. The blood gets there more slowly. And when it does, it sometimes struggles to come back up. That's why the legs feel heavy. That's why they go cold. That's why skin changes color. And left unaddressed, poor circulation can lead to varicose veins, numbness, even blood clots. But here's where it gets interesting. Nature already gave us a powerful tool. Hidden in warming, circulation-boosting oils. Ginger oil. Cayenne-infused oil. Even black pepper essential oil. These aren't just for spice, they're for life. They're called natural vasodilators. Which means, they open up your blood vessels. They encourage flow. They help blood move from the heart, through the legs, and back again. James started using ginger oil every morning. Just a few drops. He rubbed it in, gently, from ankle to knee, in smooth, upward strokes. It tingled. It warmed. And by the end of the week, he didn't need the socks anymore. He could feel the difference. Not just warmth, but presence. He said it best, "It felt like my legs woke up." And listen, this isn't magic. It's not instant. But it is powerful. Because consistent stimulation, even just 5 minutes a day, sends your body a signal: wake up. Flow. Heal. And here's what most people don't realize: you don't have to live with cold, numb legs. You don't have to accept it as just the way it is. With a little care, with the right oil, with light movement after your massage, you can restore warmth. You can improve circulation. And you can feel connected to your body again. So tomorrow morning, before the rush of the day, take a moment. Warm that oil. Massage your legs. Breathe deep. And know that every drop is doing more than just soothing your skin, it's helping your body do what it was always meant to do: flow. Now, all of these benefits: less swelling, less pain, smoother skin, warmer legs, they lead to one final transformation. One you might not expect. But one that might matter the most of all. Confidence. Let's talk about that next. Because when your legs feel good, you feel ready to live again. Let's end where it really begins, with you. Not just your skin, or your circulation, or your joints. But something deeper. Your confidence. Your freedom. Your sense of self. Let me tell you about Martha. Martha is 75. Sharp as a tack, always had the best sense of humor, and used to love going to church every Sunday, followed by tea with her neighbors. But over time, she started staying in more. Her friends noticed. Her daughter noticed. But she always had a reason: "It's too hot," or "I'm just tired." But the truth? It wasn't the heat. It wasn't the fatigue. It was her legs. They ached. They were dry. They'd swell after just 30 minutes on her feet. And maybe the hardest part: she didn't like how they looked anymore. So she pulled away. Little by little, she went from living to just existing. And that, my friend, is something we don't talk about enough. Because when your body changes, when your legs don't support you the way they used to, or when you don't recognize them in the mirror, it does something to your spirit. It chips away at your confidence, at your independence, at your willingness to show up for life. But Martha's story didn't end there. Her granddaughter, just 19 years old, came over one weekend with a small glass bottle. Inside, rosehip and sweet almond oil, with a few drops of lavender. She said, "Grandma, try this. Every morning. Every night. Just a few minutes." So Martha did. She didn't expect much. But she figured. Why not? Each morning, she massaged her legs. Not just slapped the oil on, but really massaged them, gently, with care, from her ankles to her thighs. In the evening, she did the same. Sometimes with music playing. Sometimes in silence. It became a ritual. A moment of peace. A moment of presence. And the change? It came slowly, but surely. Her skin softened. The swelling lessened. She walked to the mailbox without thinking twice. And the day she wore her Sunday dress again, her daughter cried. Not because of how Martha looked, but because she saw her smile again. You see, this oil routine wasn't just about skin or pain. It was about healing something emotional. It reminded Martha of what she still had. Her body. Her dignity. Her right to feel beautiful. And yes, her mobility. Because here's the science, comfort leads to movement. And movement? That's what keeps us independent. That's what strengthens muscles, protects bones, boosts mood, and keeps circulation going strong. It all comes full circle. And yet, so often, we focus only on the surface. We chase visible results. We forget how much confidence and courage are lost when a person doesn't feel comfortable in their own body. We forget that healing the legs also means healing the heart. So if you're listening to this, and you've been hiding your legs, avoiding walks, turning down invitations, I want you to hear this loud and clear: you deserve to feel good. You deserve to move without pain. You deserve to look at your legs, not with shame, but with pride. And yes, it might start with something as small as an oil. But it's not just the oil. It's the ritual. The intention. The choice to take care of yourself. So tomorrow, start. Just start. A 5-minute massage. A little warmth. A little love. And watch what happens, not just to your legs, but to your life. Now that you've seen what this simple oil can truly do, from reducing swelling and aches, to restoring moisture, improving circulation, and lifting your confidence, let's bring it all together. Let's talk about what you can do next. Right now. Today. Let's end where it really begins, with you. Not just your skin, or your circulation, or your joints. But something deeper. Your confidence. Your freedom. Your sense of self. Let me tell you about Martha. Martha is 75. Sharp as a tack, always had the best sense of humor, and used to love going to church every Sunday, followed by tea with her neighbors. But over time, she started staying in more. Her friends noticed. Her daughter noticed. But she always had a reason. It's too hot, or I'm just tired. But the truth? It wasn't the heat. It wasn't the fatigue. It was her legs. They ached. They were dry. They'd swell after just 30 minutes on her feet. And maybe the hardest part, she didn't like how they looked anymore. So she pulled away. Little by little, she went from living to just existing. And that, my friend, is something we don't talk about enough. Because when your body changes, when your legs don't support you the way they used to, or when you don't recognize them in the mirror, it does something to your spirit. It chips away at your confidence, at your independence, at your willingness to show up for life. But Martha's story didn't end there. Her granddaughter, just 19 years old, came over one weekend with a small glass bottle. Inside, rosehip and sweet almond oil, with a few drops of lavender. She said, "Grandma, try this. Every morning. Every night. Just a few minutes." So Martha did. She didn't expect much. But she figured. Why not? Each morning, she massaged her legs. Not just slapped the oil on, but really massaged them, gently, with care, from her ankles to her thighs. In the evening, she did the same. Sometimes with music playing. Sometimes in silence. It became a ritual. A moment of peace. A moment of presence. And the change? It came slowly, but surely. Her skin softened. The swelling lessened. She walked to the mailbox without thinking twice. And the day she wore her Sunday dress again, her daughter cried. Not because of how Martha looked, but because she saw her smile again. You see, this oil routine wasn't just about skin or pain. It was about healing something emotional. It reminded Martha of what she still had. Her body. Her dignity. Her right to feel beautiful. And yes, her mobility. Because here's the science, comfort leads to movement. And movement? That's what keeps us independent. That's what strengthens muscles, protects bones, boosts mood, and keeps circulation going strong. It all comes full circle. And yet, so often, we focus only on the surface. We chase visible results. We forget how much confidence and courage are lost when a person doesn't feel comfortable in their own body. We forget that healing the legs also means healing the heart. So if you're listening to this, and you've been hiding your legs, avoiding walks, turning down invitations, I want you to hear this loud and clear. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to move without pain. You deserve to look at your legs, not with shame, but with pride. And yes, it might start with something as small as an oil. But it's not just the oil. It's the ritual. The intention. The choice to take care of yourself. So tomorrow, start. Just start. A 5-minute massage. A little warmth. A little love. And watch what happens, not just to your legs, but to your life. Now that you've seen what this simple oil can truly do, from reducing swelling and aches, to restoring moisture, improving circulation, and lifting your confidence, let's bring it all together. Let's talk about what you can do next. Right now. Today. You know, there's something deeply painful about watching someone you love quietly suffer. Not always with words, but in the way they sit a little longer before standing. The way they pause before walking across the room. Or how they avoid talking about the swelling, the aching, the stiffness, because they don't want to be a burden. It's the silence that hurts the most. And if you've been there, you know what I mean. You watch their world shrink a little more each day. From long walks to short ones. From social visits to staying home. From confidence to quiet withdrawal. But here's the truth that I hope reaches you today. You don't have to accept that decline. Not without trying something gentle. Something natural. Something that works with the body, not against it. Because this video isn't just about oil. It's about hope. It's about touch. It's about the quiet power of a caring hand, a consistent ritual, a choice to believe in healing, even in small ways. So let's reframe what aging looks like. This isn't the story of decline. This is the story of rediscovery. Of finding ways to move better, feel better, look better, without harsh medications or expensive treatments. Of building small daily habits that preserve mobility, independence, and dignity. You don't need fancy tools. You don't need a shelf full of products. Just pick one oil. Start there. Coconut, castor, ginger, almond, rosehip, they all have something to give. Massage it gently, upward strokes, every day. Focus on comfort, not perfection. Let it be a moment of connection with your body or with someone you love. And watch. Just 7 days. That's all it takes for the swelling to soften, for the aches to ease, for the skin to glow, for confidence to return. Because it's never too late to feel good again. Not for you. Not for your mother. Not for your grandfather. Not for anyone. One drop. One touch. One step at a time. So let's bring it all together. To recap, this simple oil routine can: white heavy checkmark reduce swelling and fluid retention, white heavy checkmark ease joint and muscle pain, white heavy checkmark rejuvenate dry, aging skin, white heavy checkmark boost circulation and bring warmth back, white heavy checkmark, and most beautifully, restore confidence and ease of movement. So now I'd love to hear from you. Which oil do you swear by? Have you tried this routine before? Or are you planning to try it now? Let me know in the comments below. I read every one of them. Because here on Seniorscare, we're more than just a channel. We're a community. A family. A space where aging is honored, and where healing is always possible. If this video gave you even one useful idea, one moment of clarity, one reason to try again, please tap subscribe. Join us for more real conversations, trusted tips, and caring advice on living well as we age. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, a friend, a parent, a neighbor, share this with them. Let them know they're not alone. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for caring. And above all, stay strong. Stay supported. And I'll see you in the next video. Right here on Seniorscare.